Implementation overview for the number bonds 1 to 10 for number fluency. How we help you set up the evaluation. The first thing we ask you to do is identify a group of target learners. You then complete the pre-assessment task with all the learners. The What Work Teaches platform will then randomly allocate the learners into an intervention and comparison group. The intervention group will receive this for the duration of the trial, and the comparison will continue as normal. At the end of the evaluation, both groups will complete the post-assessment test, which is the same as the pre. You will then generate an impact report, and if the intervention shows promise, you can then open this up to the comparison group students. Planning. So let's look at this from a step-by-step planning approach. First thing we ask you to do is identify a group of learners to participate in the evaluation from the same year group or class. Step 2, read the intervention schedule and print off the flashcard packs for each of the numbers. These are included in the resource folder. Step 3, complete the pre-assessment maths test with all learners. Record the marks in the Excel tracker located in the resource folder and input these into the pre-test on the trial wizard. So moving on to the implementation. Step 4, using the trial wizard on the What Work Teaches platform, it will randomly assign learners to the intervention and the comparison group. Step 5, the intervention group of students will follow the delivery schedule for the daily number fluency lessons. The comparison group will continue as business as usual for the duration of the trial. Step 6, complete the post-assessment maths test, which is the same as the pre to both the intervention and the comparison group. Record the marks in the Excel tracker and then input these into the post-test on the trial wizard. You'll then complete a short process evaluation, then click Analyze the results to generate an impact report to show you how the intervention has worked in your school. So the intervention. It's a targeted intervention for number fluency which focuses on Year 1 pupils. The intervention is delivered by a teaching assistant in small groups, and each session will take approximately 10 to 15 minutes. How it works. So it's a regular number fluency lesson. The teacher or teaching assistant will deliver the daily number fluency lesson following the 6-week schedule. It's a 15-minute daily intervention. The resource folder includes flashcards for the number bonds for the fact families, and each card representing a number bond sum, such as 0 plus 6 equals 6, or 6 plus 0 equals 6, with the answer displayed on the reverse. It also includes a review learning. In a schedule, you will see the facts are reviewed to reinforce the learning using a systematic approach. Inside the resource folder, you will find an implementation for the intervention, which has been shared by the school. So it shows you week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5, week 6. In the resource folder, you will see a PDF for the flashcards for each number. Please print off the planning sheet so you know which ones are required for each day. When printing the flashcards, please print these two-sided, flip on the short edge. This will allow you to have question on the front and the answer on the back, and it is probably best to laminate these. In the tracking spreadsheet, you'll also find this in the resource folder, which allows you to link an anonymized learner to a student in the intervention and control groups. And then key considerations, logistical issues need to be considered before using a targeted number fluency strategy as an intervention. So is there a suitable time in the day for this to be delivered? Is there a suitable location? Printing off the schedule in advance of starting the intervention. Making sure you print off the resources in advance. And then will you possibly link this to rewards? So logistical barriers are common in any intervention delivered in schools, so it's just important to consider these prior to starting. The assessment. So the pre-assessment task, please use a PowerPoint for the assessment. This is in the resource folder. This is 20 timed questions, 8 seconds per question. The resource folder includes a pupil and answer template. Please record the score for each learner in the Excel tracker and input this into the What Work Teaches platform. For the post-assessment, it's the same assessment that you'll use for the pre to measure progress and the effectiveness of the intervention. Because both groups are using the same intervention, then familiarity should not bias the results. So just make sure you record the score for each learner in the Excel tracker and then input this into the What Worked Teachers platform. Final assessment guidance. If you can complete the assessment of the test conditions, it can be done by a teacher or teaching assistant. Use the included PowerPoint for the same for the pre and the post, and then record any pre and post assessment scores onto your tracking spreadsheet. So that is the end of your implementation guidance. The next thing to do is to download the research protocol, download the resource folder, and then move on to your trial wizard.